He's like my dad in a lot of ways. Once he and I got together, I knew that the combination was going to be magical.
We've had an unbelievable chemistry.
Really?
Sitting next to me right now is the best singer in the world.
This is not a drill. Clive Davis is dead. Right now, everybody line up, oldest to youngest. What happened? Get the biopics out now. He cannot hurt you anymore. He has no power over you.
For years, the mysterious note Whitney Houston gave to Brandy in front of Clive Davis has haunted everyone, because just hours later, Whitney was found dead in her hotel room. Now that Clive Davis is gone, many people believe the truth about that note might finally come out. Some people are even saying that a documentary about Clive Davis could be on the way, with artists finally speaking about what they experienced, now that one of the music industry's most powerful figures is no longer alive. Brandy had always promised never to reveal what was written in the note, but now rumors claim she is finally ready to talk, saying the note points to foul play surrounding Whitney Houston's death. Let's get right into it. Clive Davis has officially passed away.
Whitney Houston. Now, I knew you had a connection to her, but I didn't realize, and you write in the book, that shortly before her death, you had a lengthy phone call with her.
I did.
What was that call?
It mattered so much to me because I got a chance to tell her everything I hadn't told her, just how much she inspired me, how much I loved her, her impact in my life. And yeah, it was an emotional conversation. I didn't know it was going to be my last time speaking to her.
His publicist confirmed that the legendary music executive died at his home in Manhattan, New York, after dealing with respiratory problems. His family released a statement saying that he lived a full life and passed away peacefully at the age of 94. His death has left many people with mixed emotions. On one hand, many believe people should respect the dead, especially someone who helped introduce so many successful artists to the world. On the other hand, critics argue that Clive Davis played a major role in creating an unfair music industry where artists often earned far less than they deserved. Many point to artists like TLC and Toni Braxton, who became huge stars but still faced financial struggles because of record contracts that heavily favored the labels.
What was it? What did you see in him? What made him different? Why Clive Davis?
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom, his know-how. For a lot of artists, I wanted the guidance. I wanted to know, what made a hit record, and what made me, special, and it could be any song.
Some people believe Brandy learned the hard way that her mentor, Whitney Houston, also paid a heavy price after crossing paths with Clive Davis. Clive first met Whitney Houston in a nightclub called Sweetwater in 1983 and signed her to Arista Records when she was only 19 years old. Early in her career, he acted as her mentor and helped introduce her to important people in the industry. Together, they worked on her self-titled debut album, which went on to sell over 25 million copies worldwide. Whitney once admitted that they often argued about which songs she should record, but she still viewed him as her industry father. As Whitney became one of the biggest stars in the world, however, things reportedly changed. Some believe Clive's influence slowly became a barrier that kept Whitney from having full creative freedom. By 2012, Whitney and Clive were reportedly no longer as close as they had once been. One person Whitney still trusted deeply was Brandy. Whitney and Brandy first met in 1995 and quickly formed a close friendship. Whitney became both a mentor and a role model to the younger singer. She even made sure...
In that 1995 meeting in Beverly Hills in the home of Clive Davis, who was responsible for the murder of Whitney Houston, I said it. His days are numbered.
Brandy was cast as Cinderella in the 1997 television movie so she could play the fairy godmother and spend more time with her. During one interview with Brandy, Monica, and Clive Davis, Whitney unexpectedly walked onto the set. Most people assumed she was simply there to support them. Whitney greeted everyone warmly and even joked that she had almost drowned earlier that day. She hugged Clive, spoke with Monica, and then quietly handed Brandy a folded note. She also called over her daughter, Bobby Christina, asking her to hug Clive. Some people later claimed this may have been a distraction, giving Brandy enough time to read the note without attracting attention. After the interview ended, Brandy reportedly spent 3 hours talking with Whitney on the phone. Just 2 days later, Whitney Houston passed away. That made Brandy one of the last people to ever speak with Whitney, leaving fans wondering what was written in the mysterious note. For years, Brandy refused to discuss its contents. She only shared that Whitney told her she planned to get better, making her death even more heartbreaking. Now, rumors claim Brandy is reconsidering her silence after Clive Davis's passing. According to these claims, she stayed quiet because she feared the consequences of speaking out. In 2012, Brandy and Monica had reunited to release their collaboration, It All Belongs to Me. At the time, Monica reportedly maintained a good working relationship with Clive Davis and sought his approval before recording the project.
Well, you're a very small minority, because if you knew Whitney better, you knew she was not there to perform.
Yeah.
This was her favorite night of the year. She came out every year. This party was so part of her.
So you're saying
and
that she
so
would've...
that the family, we spoke to representatives of Pat, who was a manager, and Gary, who was her brother.
Her body was still upstairs.
But we dedicated the evening. Whitney would have wanted this party to go on any more than the Grammys should stop.
Some reports claimed Clive hoped to strengthen his relationship with Brandy and possibly sign her to one of his labels. According to these theories, Whitney learned about those plans and immediately rushed to warn Brandy. The alleged message in Whitney's note was simple: stay away from Clive Davis and avoid getting trapped in contracts that could limit her career. Supporters of this theory argue that Whitney experienced similar problems herself. When Whitney's career began, many members of her management team reportedly had close ties to Clive Davis. While this was presented as a way to surround her with experienced professionals, critics believe it also meant many people around Whitney remained loyal to Clive first. They claim Clive wanted Whitney to succeed, but only as long as he maintained control over her career. One story often brought up involves Michael Jackson. When Michael was preparing his album Bad in 1987, he reportedly wanted Whitney to sing with him on I Just Can't Stop Loving You. The two were friends, and many believed they would have created one of the biggest duets of all time. However, the collaboration never happened. The official explanation was scheduling conflicts. Years later, Michael was reportedly interested in appearing on Whitney's song If I Told You That. Once again, the duet failed to happen, with scheduling problems and leaked recordings given as the reasons. Some people believe those explanations were only excuses. According to this theory, Whitney believed that working closely with Michael Jackson could have encouraged her to seek greater control over her own music. Unlike many artists of his generation, Michael owned the rights to much of his music and had significant creative freedom. Whitney did not enjoy those same advantages. Instead of supporting collaborations outside the label, critics argue that Arista preferred projects that kept business within the company. Whitney was instead paired with Aretha Franklin, another Arista artist, on a duet that also benefited the label. Over time, Whitney reportedly wanted greater ownership of both her music and her finances. In 2001, she signed what was announced as a historic $100 million recording contract. Reports claimed she received $40 million up front, with the remaining money depending on future album performance. According to some sources, however, the label believed Whitney would never fully meet the requirements needed to receive the entire amount. Critics claim promotion for her later albums slowed dramatically, while declining sales were blamed on digital piracy. Supporters of this theory argued that Whitney became trapped in a contract she could not escape. As her career slowed, she reportedly owed the label millions of dollars. At the same time, years of substance abuse had affected her health and damaged her voice, making it much harder for her to perform at the level fans had come to expect. Some conspiracy theories even claim Whitney became more valuable to the label after her death than during her lifetime. These theories point to alleged contract clauses involving advances and financial obligations, though no evidence has publicly confirmed such claims. Many also question why Clive Davis continued hosting his annual Grammy party at the same hotel on the night Whitney died. To some observers, that decision seemed cold, especially considering how often he described Whitney as being like family. Others argue there is no evidence linking him to her death and that continuing the event does not prove wrongdoing. Some conspiracy theories also suggest Whitney feared for her safety after reportedly surviving a previous drowning incident. According to these claims, she wanted someone she trusted to know what was happening in case something happened to her. Whether those claims are true remains unproven. What is certain is that Whitney Houston's passing remains one of the most heartbreaking losses in music history, and discussions surrounding her relationship with Clive Davis continue to spark debate years later. Now, with Clive Davis gone, many people believe more former artists and insiders may eventually share their experiences about the music industry during his era. What do you think about these claims? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone!